train and platform edge.
Good morning guys, and welcome to today's vlog. Today is a Monday. I've taken a couple of days off work to use up my holiday before the end of the year. Our year goes sort of May to end of April the following year, so I just thought I'd use a couple of days up. Rachel is working away. She works in the sort of assisted care industry, and she has gone to Wales for an overnight stay. That leaves me on my own devices, so I thought I would do something pretty spooky that Rachel wouldn't be interested in the first place. So that brings me to here. I have arrived at Berkhamsted train station. It's taken about half an hour to get from Bletchley station, where I live, sort of that sort of vicinity, to here. It's cost me £12.60, so this is proving the point you don't need to use a car. It's be about an hour's walk from here to get to the destination, which is the Devil's Bridge and Spooky Lane. On the way there will be some other bits and pieces I can show you, which are quite fascinating. People will be interested in it. It could make for a great day out, especially in the summer months. And I'll give a few mentions to people I know, etc. And let's go and have a great time. Immediately at leaving Berkhamsted station, which as I turn around you could see adjacent there, we have Berkhamsted Castle. Now I've vlogged here before, told the stories. This goes back to the era of William the Conqueror, beat Harold at the Battle of Hastings, etc. And the first mention goes to Pinned on Places. These guys, if you watch them and see what they do, they bring you probably some of the best, including drone footage, of your medieval castles, your stately homes of that era, etc. Fascinating to watch. Check them guys out. Now I'm not specifically interested in the castle itself today, although some of the apparitions, some of the ghosts are supposed to frequent this area as well as where I am going to. But my journey starts here. I believe this is called New Road, I believe, and it's going to take me up to a golf course and a World War I memorial, and that's when I can get on the permissive bridleways and make my way to the location. For time purposes, it is roughly, let's see, it's 11:10 in the morning, so we can gauge from that how long it's going to take us to get where we want to go. But I said, that's a great view there of the Motte Bailey Castle. Now everything I'm doing today, the only cost involved has been the £12.60 train fare. Anything else is just add-ons, like I had a coffee this morning. It's always important to have a warm caffeinated beverage when you set out, and maybe a chocolate bar for energy later, possibly buy a snack. But there will be nothing available in the area I'm going to. There is a pub adjacent, I believe, but apart from that, it's just me, you, the great outdoors, and some serious spookiness. Another back view of the castle. I said I've come from down there all the way up this road here, and I've still got to go all the way up that road up there. Second shout out time. A morning greetings to UAP, otherwise known as Autistic Psycho, and Milton Keynes, Bletchley vlogger himself. He'll go out, find interesting, quirky stuff. What the heck he was doing in a drain the other night, I do not know. I don't even want to second guess. It looks hilarious, spooky as hell. You won't catch me down there, mate. Anyway, have a good one. Now this is where I have a choice. I can continue without a path as such up there, which I think I will, or go through that way, a spooky area. But I will probably come back this way because there's something really significant I have to tie in with what I'm doing. Puts all the pieces together, ends the story absolutely fantastically, so we'll probably come back that way. This is pretty much your lower end of your Ashridge estate. You've got a golf course all around here. I think it's an 18 hole area. I think it's pot and end, I believe. There's cars going backwards and forwards quite frequently. There is kind of a dirt track, not an actual path like we was on, but we can continue going, and that's what is important. I tell you what, for an old duffer, it just shows you what you can do. There's a lot of people a lot fitter, a lot healthier, a lot younger that could certainly do this trek. So if you're still following the route closely, I've just gone in a continuous straight line up New Road. I've not diverted at all, stayed on that same road all the way up. This is that crossroads at the top, and it leads to a First World War memorial, and then we will continue to bank round through that golf course to where we need to be. Of course, if you didn't want to take the train, you can park over there. There is other parking around the facility. That's what we did when we ventured out there to the World War I trenches. Love that smell of fresh wood being burnt. A little bit of light forestry going on. Probably to help out these guys out here. Hitting a tiny little ball for miles. And like me, if you try it, losing it and never finding it again. We leave the golf course behind and venture deep into the woods. Good terminology if you want to know the direction of north, south, etc. Your north side is where your moss is going to grow. I believe the sun doesn't quite reach it, so that's why on the side of the trees where you always get the moss and it's green, that's its purpose, its reason. Next shout out time. Message out there to you, Adventures of Paul. I hope you've been enjoying some of the Milton Keynes vlogs I've been doing. You could certainly do this. It's going to cost you, as I said, I don't know about, you get on a train from Wolverton to Berkhamsted and do exactly this walk. I don't mind actually at some point, maybe at night, we have a jolly boys outing, yourself, me, AP, we go out and maybe we venture to where I'm going now in the night time. It's spooky enough during the day, but at night it could be a bit of a wow factor. So I'm starting to get deeper into a wooded area, but it's nothing to do with where I'm actually going. My navigation has taken me slightly out to the side of where I want to be. As I said, signpost, pot and end up that way, Burco behind me, Vicarage Road, that's not home of the Hornets, although it is Decorum, Hertfordshire, greatest team ever, some used to say. But where I've got to get to, I'll go up here, and just to the right up here I'll get on these permissive bridle paths. This is a serious money area, but I have got no intentions of going around here. As I said, public footpath here. I'll be taking this one to the right. These are pretty much horse trails. This is probably generally spooky enough for some people already, but trust me, the images and videos I've seen is nothing compared to this. Condition of the pathway should I say, it's okay. You can see the old horse tracks, they will churn this up. I am only in trainers, so I'm not getting covered in muck, so it seems okay. There is a doggy. Look at the size of him. What a beast. Hopefully this will focus in enough for us. Here we go. Hello fella. Yes, I will not be going into that field. I don't even know if that's a cow or a bull. I won't mess with it. Okay, last significant shout out. This is a special one going out to Corinne. That is, she has a YouTube account called Bella Therapy Corinne R. Now Corinne herself, she is very into hauntings, ghosts, etc. I suppose a lot of us guys are, and it's thanks to her that I've actually located this spot. So basically all YouTubers and content creators who go around and do this kind of stuff, they all see where each other are going. Now I done a vlog on a most haunted location in Northamptonshire, which is believed to be St George's Ruins. It's an old church out, it's called Boughton, I believe it is. Now Corinne went there herself. We commented on each other's posts. I looked at some of her other work, the same as she does, as mine, same as everybody else does. And she went to this place where I'm about to head to. It's probably about perhaps half a mile away from where I am now. So I will haunt you, Corinne, if anything happens to me down there. It shouldn't do. I'm getting a little bit of the heebie-jeebies, the hair standing up on the back of my neck. It's getting a bit chilly already and I'm not even there. But yeah, thank you so much for putting me in the direction of this place. I know you have a book out. I shall some point probably go onto Amazon and purchase that. Maybe at some point I'll meet up with you, can even sign it for us. I know you yourself, you was in a movie, Son of Rambo, I believe it was. Something in the background. Myself, I was in Henry V. I played a mad monk. Although this wasn't the Kenneth Branagh one. It's like at times films go out, like Deep Impact went out the same time as Armageddon, the same time as Henry V by Kenneth Branagh went out. There was another one which didn't get released to the cinema. It ended up going on to the History Channel as part of the Battle of Agincourt. My father was an archer, I was a mad monk. We're walking through areas like this. I was at the front of the troops carrying like a big placard thing, my head shaved, etc. A monk's robe on. A monk's, ironically, something to do with this area. So it's all good. Anyway, thank you very much. And that goes to all you guys out there who watch. These channels that anyone does is nothing without the viewer. So to Corinne, to everybody else out there, thank you so much. Let's go and try and survive this. There's certain noise around, but it's, I believe it's roosters or chickens. There must be a chicken farm somewhere around here. People say of weird and wonderful noises that come along with the apparitions, etc. But we'll continue to make our way. This would be a real tragedy if it was to end here. Sorry, I couldn't help that one. This is just a step area. As we start to make our way down, I believe we'll come out to a clearing, then we reach the side of a pub, but we continue on and then we start a climb before the descent into the tunnel and the bridge and certain doom. So that's what we've come through, and that's probably been, say, quarter to half a mile trekking away through this lot. And you can see just out there at the back of the thicket area there's a signpost. I believe that's where the pub is, and where the T-junction is, where the end is. That's where, as I said, we start our climb. Now the villagers in this area turn around and say the place doesn't exist because they don't want you there. Tell you what, them old steps are hard on your knees. Well, we've reached the side of the pub now. I believe it's called the Orphan Arms. Maybe somewhere, if you was interested, after you've done one of these haunts, you could go and have a drink, if you're old enough, of course. That is seriously old and kind of depicts the time frame. Wow, that is incredible. We are making our way up here to no man's land, and we'll start the climb. And legs will start to feel it, that's for sure. My God, this is one heck of a climb. It's like that. I know at some point it will plateau out because it's going to have to start a descent. As you can tell by my breath, I am worn out. How the heck did you climb this in wellies, Kareem? Onwards and upwards. Even the tree roots make this place appear evil. I'm worn out. But guys, we've reached the plateau. It's evened out. And we're now going to start descending into hell. That climb certainly puts my theories about this whole place together. Nice old tractor. Alright, yeah. In Kareem's video, couldn't quite see what she was pointing to. But if we pan over here, I might be able to focus in. I can see Ashridge House. Back at that little tractor again. Right. I'll start panning in. Yeah, I can quite clearly see that my theory looks to be right. Right, that's Ashridge in the distance over there. I'll do my theory from the top of the bridge as to why this is no longer in use, this whole area. But first, let's go to a seriously spooky place. Now they say about satanic rituals and sacrificing birds, etc. Well, that's a sight to greet us, isn't it? A lot of evidence of ivy and holly overhanging. I believe this area doesn't see a lot of light, so it's going to be like a thicket and vastly overgrown in areas. I believe you could take vehicles down here in a bygone era. Would you risk it? Perhaps a motorbike? This is where the fun starts. We've reached it. Be a case of say what I see, make my way down there, have a few devices in my pocket. Now I've been told that dogs don't like it down here, horses get spooked. I can understand why, and I can certainly understand the eeriness of it. To me, it's the high banks. It's almost claustrophobic. This is believed to be an old Roman road. It's actually nicknamed or called the Roman road, but locals call it Spooky Way or Spooky Lane. Now, obviously, where we came through, from Berkhamsted Castle, I had heard tales of ghosts that frequented there. One being a Roman centurion, one being a monk. Now I believed it was that area, but people were also saying they frequent here, and I can just see the Devil's Bridge coming into view. That there is known as the Devil's Bridge. It's supposed to be a seriously haunted, spooky location. So far I feel okay. I have a look behind me. But has anyone seen anything like this? I certainly haven't. There's believed to be a geocache down here as well. I deciphered the code last night, so I'll show you what it basically spelt out and I'll have a look around. But not my sort of cup of tea, that. But if I found it, it'd be interesting. A geocache is one of these things where people put things hidden in little places for other people to come, collect them, sign a book to turn around and say they found it. Sometimes they leave something in return. Sometimes it's just about the message that they leave. But yeah, seriously overgrown. And I believe it's got something to do with the Earl of Bridgewater. The monument, which I always, I suppose many people mistook it as being Ivanhoe Beacon on the Ashridge estate. It's a great big huge column. You can go up the top there and see fantastic views. Now it's believed that the guy himself, the Earl, built this so himself and his wife could go about their way out of the sight of the general public and noblemen. So make of you will about that. I'm certainly looking for a geocache spot as much as anything else. It's probably been found. Something that shouldn't be there, something that's out of place. I'll probably take a bit of flint home with me, to be honest with you. Like a little treasure to say I've been here. Okay, I get what people are saying, the temperature's dropped dramatically. But I see you. I believe the temperature dropping is probably same in comparison with when I done an urbex and I fell inside an old disused train tunnel. Now what it is the wind will come through, it can't go out either side, so it accumulates around here and the temperature drops dramatically. It is a good 10 degrees cooler in this tunnel than it is on the outside. Some more ungodly looking tree roots. It does come across as being a little bit sinister, and it's great when you're here by yourself. I really thought I would be seriously freaked out by this. Down there to the right I know there's a church. I've seen it on Google Maps, and you can make your way up over the top of the bank and onto the bridge, and I will certainly be doing that as part of this vlog. Just got the old EMF out. See if it does a reading. Generally a load of old faff in the wrong hands like myself, but someone who knows what they're doing with them can get things to work. You're going to have all the gear but no idea, as they say. Okay, Deb, if you're about, I know you've recently passed over, send us some form of message. Did you pass over? Is there anybody present? Now basically that device there is like a spirit box that I've just used. It's an app, and to be honest with you, it's basically you make of it what you will. You will hear what you want to hear. If something's just broken down and you will pick a message out of that, it's probably not significant. I picked up absolutely zero out of that. Other people would have heard clear words. I did hear some things, but I don't think it had any relevance. But it is one of them things you just basically got to try. Place here is still a lot cooler. Still spooky. I'm just glad that no one else has turned up. Now this geocache thing gave me a code to decipher, which basically you've got that wording on the left and there's your graph to the right, and you can break down all them words. And I basically deciphered it from that, and this is what I come up with. That is what it breaks down to. So look, under lumps of flint, up high in the roots. Now their main roots are here to my right, so we'll have a look up there. This might be a bit drawn out to some of you guys, but I don't know. It's just something. Well, I found it straight away. Silly sod. Oh, that's a geocache. Wow. Found it. Let's have a look. Well, I found the geocache. What I got is just a silly little pencil and rubber thing, but it's something from today. Now that was in this little container. I have not got a clue how long that was there. And it come with this little notebook, which I've put Rob with Scooby and Scooby, which is my channel. I will seal that back up. The person who comes down, or the next person, will fill in another bit. Who said the content's harmless. And I'll place them back. And to do the good thing, I had a pen on me. I'll just wrap it up in this to try and keep it as dry as possible. So the next person can just grab a pen. It doesn't matter what the item is. It's just the idea of finding something. This is just something to add to it. I never thought I'd find it in a million years. But I did. Okay, my bit done. Geocache back in its spot. Good luck to the next people. I have put a pen there. I've also taken the smallest piece of flint I can find as a little bit of a memento of the day. Now I am about to make my way down the bottom, get up on top of that, tell you what my thoughts are about the bridge, and then make my way back up. So the flint walls, the ivy, the holly, some places it's bricked as well, makes its way down to a church at the bottom here, where I should find another path that goes up into the fields above, so I can actually get on top of Devil's Bridge. As I said, your church is just down here into this courtyard to the right. That's not where we want to go. We want to go up this intricate little path. That is what we've just come down and what we will go back through to get out. But this little way here is how to get on top of Devil's Bridge, and it looks like one hell of a climb for someone who's not fit. Them's some big steps. Actually, this is just as spooky as the tunnel way. But you know what? I feel relaxed. I feel comfortable. I've enjoyed every minute. And that's what it's all about. You guys could do exactly the same as me and make a little adventure for the day out of it. Now you see, these paths would have been around the time when you had your highwaymen and women about, and obviously the highwayman woman at Markyate, the wicked lady, this could have been an area that she frequented. There was a tomb I come across recently, and I've done a vlog on that. I can't remember the guy's name, but he was the last highwayman hung in the UK, and it was just down from here. What is this? Old stone pillars. I'm guessing these were probably part of the bridge originally. There's more over here. Yeah, I'm saying at one stage this was quite ornate, and you probably had maybe a lion either side, etc. But my theory is, and I'll show you that looking from this, if you see that gate over there in the distance, that is the way the old road used to go, and it travels on down that way. Now I believe, because it's a straight line, and I can verify that because I've drawn it out on paper, which I'll show you in a minute, the road used to come through here. Now this is the time of horse and cart, not your modern day vehicles, and it would have continued over the bridge, Devil's Bridge, which I'm now standing on top of. That's the other side of it. I know this feels a bit elongated, but it is of interest. People will want to come here. Watch out for the barbed wire. Now, as I said, you've seen the other gate, which I've showed you. Now this continued, and it takes a natural curve, and you can see where it is, and it banks round over there. There's a series of trees, and it's like this. This is a natural old road. It just looks like some grass, but it's a natural old road that carries on, and it goes to a little waterway with a house in the distance over there. I'll show you on the map. Now, as you know with me, I'm a guy that likes to back things up with factual stuff, so looking in the plain line of sight, you can see we are here, Devil's Bridge. Now you look at that, there's a natural curve there, and you can see where one road used to start and end, and the other one down nearly where my thumb is where it ends. I've even drawn a line to show you where the road would have been. Now obviously what they done is they moved the road further down there. Reason being, you said horse and cart, bad winters, heavy going, mucky, no actual concrete or tarmac, just this. So they moved everything down to the flat, and that become your village. And that's the line I've drawn to show you the way it would have gone. And that was here. So that way, follow through to the fence down the bottom there, in the distance, not the one you can see, the metal one in the background. That's your old road. I don't believe there's going to be much up that way. I'll walk a short distance just to verify that. Let's see, look, old barbed wire and wood. That's your other concrete plinth, and another one there. So we're saying plinths here, gargoyle, lion's head, whatever, maybe something not so ornate, but they would have featured here as an entrance to make the bridge just that little bit more unique. Now obviously no one's stolen them, because you imagine the weight of those things. Another couple there. Not many people take this on board when they're looking into them. I'm going to make my way back down now. Back through. Nearly at the steps now. Obviously there is a shorter way down. I'm not jumping over that. It's bad enough trying to get down these because they are seriously steep. So we also survived that bit as well. All in all, this is a great day. Anyway, let's make our way back now. Horses have certainly come through this way recently. I can see their marks on the floor. Now we're going to make our way back to Berkhamsted station via the monument next to the golf course and another significant site which I believe ties all this together. And the reason, the story behind the name, I'm probably wrong, but we shall go and see. If you're going to tag yourself here, do it with chalk. It comes off a lot easier. There we go. Rob with Scooby and Scooby, YouTube, 27th of the 2nd, 23. We survived it. Hope you've enjoyed this bit, Corin. Didn't really have anything that cropped up. Again, I've just entered here and it's got cold again. But if there is anything here, I wish you well. It is always, like I say when I leave a graveyard, is to say goodbye to you. That way you remain here, hopefully in good spirits, and you don't follow me home. Now this bit just comes down to personal beliefs that I think about the general area. Probably behind me, in the fields, Gaddesden area, possibly a barracks, a load of tented facilities with armed soldiers during the First World War, and they were trained in this area. And there's something I'm going to show you. It's going to take me best part of half an hour to get back to there, near enough where we started off. If you remember, I turned around and said I could either turn down that way or I'd head an end there, which is what I'm going to do, which I believe puts all this back together. So let's go and do this. I'm absolutely knackered. Maybe that's why it's called the Devil's Bridge, because it will kill you. This could have been what sat on that plinth. Didn't have to be a lion or a gargoyle, but a dog. So hands up guys, who's stuck with me thus far? Who's got to this point? As I continue, we've done Spooky Lane, we've done the Devil's Bridge, we survived that. We've put together the pieces of where the bridge used to go, linking it between the two roads. We've done an investigation to find out whether there's any paranormal activity for myself. Not sure whether I plan it back on the box, the spirit box bit, whether something I'll pick up. You're always going to find something because you'll pick up what you want to pick up. That's my belief. And then the bonus, the geocache. Never heard of it until guy at work, Richard, he'd spoken about it. He'd gone out with his daughter and he'd found some before. Some are quite unique, some quite intricate, and So I thought, right, I deciphered the code last night, which I did. Took me 5-10 minutes tops. And so I thought, well, we're down there anyway, why not have a look? I looked basically on the information was there and found it within 10 seconds. So got a little memento. It means nothing, but it means everything, if that makes any sense. It has no monetary value, but it has the value of reminding me of the day as much as anything else, along with a little piece of flint and the vlog I'm doing now. Oh, and it smells around here. This is the obviously where the chickens, cockerels were, which were making the noise earlier, and that's probably what that was back there, possibly attacked by a fox. But anyway, let's make our way back to the next spot, put the pieces together and conclude this vlog. Okay, catching up a little bit now. We've been walking for the best part of 25 minutes or so uphill back to where we come in. Now this is that bit with that private driveway, I remember. We'd overshot somehow, but now you can see the other bit of the permissive driveway which links it all up, and this is the way we should have come through on the way here. If you remember, going back to the start of the vlog, we'd overshot and come up this bit. So this is what we should have come through, another part of the thicket. This is also permissive bridleway. It says above me public footpath, so it's fine. And this links onto the golf course. We'll loop round the golf course, go past the monument, and then we'll go to another spot. It's very significant. It's worth a vlog itself. I've actually vlogged it myself probably, I guess it must be 18 months ago. I come up here and pay tribute to it. It's absolutely fascinating. I never felt places like that existed, more so than where I've just been. But I should go and show you an overview and tie up this story, because it's all linked. In my view, it is anyway. Right, this is the mistake we made. We'd come through there and we followed the path all the way down, but we carried on to there, to the road, and ended up going up the side street. If we turn left here where the fence is, straight through, takes out maybe 10 minutes. Back to the monument now, and this truly is significant with the story of where we've just been and where we are about to end up, to finish the story, tie up the loose ends and put it all together. And so the time has come to bring the story to an end, and it's been an incredible story, and what I tell you now might put the pieces together for some of you out there. It's what I strongly believe. Others will think differently, but I'll start with the story of my grandfather. My grandfather was Second World War. He was trained in mountain warfare. He spent 6 months climbing up the cliffs of Dover, up and down with his pack on, with his rifle, his ammunition, etc, etc, to go and fight the mountains during the Second World War. Now, the British Army, being what the British Army is, they sent him to North Africa to fight alongside the Desert Rats, and they fought their way through North Africa and claimed victory there. They then went on to give him his real claim in life as a soldier, what he was trained for, and they sent him to Monte Cassino, which is in Italy. It was an old monastery, the top of a hill. Some people thought it was impenetrative. He fought his way up there with his group of soldiers, his platoon, if that's what the word is. I'm not sure what you call the British version of it is, but he went up there with the Buffs. The Buffs were slaughtered to a penny. My grandfather was registered as missing in action, shell shock, etc. He had disappeared. He was found in a hospital. They got him patched up. He went back up, joined, I believe it was the Royal Fusiliers, who was left of those, and the Polish, and they took Monte Cassino. From then on, he was fighting hand-to-hand combat with German paratroopers. He had bayonet wounds. He ended up having a shrapnel wound when a bomb went off at the train station there, and that ended his war in the battle sense. He spent the rest of his war as a personal guard to Winston Churchill. Now, that was his story. What that has to do with today, it's just showing you my beliefs around the troops, etc. Now, where we've just been was called Devil's Bridge. Now, beyond that was Gaddesden. I'm sure Gaddesden had a barracks with loads of military tents, training facilities. We are up here on the side of Berkhamsted Common next to a golf course, and this was also a training facilities. Now, my belief is, I've walked through that where the flint is. I've seen boreholes where people would put pegs in to climb. I believe they used that area to do their training for climbing up and down, because it wasn't only trenches. And why am I saying trenches? Because I'm standing right next to some. Believe it or not, Berkhamsted Common in Hertfordshire, next to a golf course, there are World War I training trenches. If I turn around and focus, you can see some of them behind me. Now, why do I put all this together? The reason why I put all this together is because of the military corps that were involved with this, the officers, what they were called. They were called something significant, which I tie in, and I just don't think it can be too much of a coincidence with the proximity of maybe, what we're talking, maybe a mile, maybe a mile and a half. Now, troops would march. That's what they do. They march, they paint chalk black, they paint charcoal white, they take orders, etc. And my belief is the guys involved in that, who trained here in these trenches, had a specific name. Now, the specific name, I'm just about to come up to it. The plaque is here on the corner, and this ties up our story. As I said, I've tied up where the bridge met, where the old road was, and it was called Devil's Bridge. So have a look at this, guys. The guys who would train here were called the Devil's Own. These were officers in training to go into combat, the likes of your Somme, etc., and training these trenches. They've just sat here, volunteers over the years, helped dig them out, and I believe there's something in the region of 800 metres of trenches going in and out of these woods. All significant, and I've been through them. I've logged in there, I said 18 months ago, and I just think it's significant that we tie up the story of the Devil's Bridge and say it's all to do with the Devil's Own. Weird. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope it's been a pleasant experience with you, tagging along with this. As much as anything else, I wanted to prove an old duffer like myself. I'm 52. I have to take pills called gabapentin because I have a nervous problem in my knees caused by something that broke me back years ago. I have a spinal cord injury, and I take these pills because basically my legs go like jelly after a period of time. But I've managed to walk today. As you know, I've walked from Berkhamsted Station. I had to walk to Berkhamsted Station in the first place from Bletchley. Get on the train. I've walked to Devil's Bridge. I've walked back. And it proves that you guys can do this. And that's what this is all about. It cost me £12.60. I've had an adventure. I've enjoyed it. It was a bit spooky at times. I found the geocache. And I just think some of you guys out there are missing out. Sure, it's great to watch me do it, but give it a go yourself. Even vlog it. Blog it even. It doesn't matter. Take a few photographs. There is a world out there that doesn't cost you a fortune. And I believe if we continue, places like this will be unearthed, found. This was found don't know how many decades back, and they rejuvenated it. Without people like myself coming out and explore it, I think, what's the point? So anyway guys, thank you very much for watching. Don't have nightmares. I will see you in the movies. Bye for now. Cheers guys, thank you. Just to finish guys, remember when I said at the beginning, when we come up that road, we won't turn down there, we'll come back up that way. This is that spot. As I said, it's all about tying up the loose ends. We decided not to come down this path, we'll come back this way, and that's certainly what we did. Thank you for watching. See you next time.